Jane Good of Southport made the plea for Save St. Andrews Task Force representatives to be present at a public hearing in Brunswick on October the 24th. Task Force members Smith Climo and Stuart Smith made the trip.
We came down here today to be in solidarity with the concept of Parkview and Midcoast trying to find a way to coexist, and we wanted to have an opportunity to put forth our St. Andrews situation and have them realize that there are other hospital issues going on around this state, and that we wanted to be supportive.
And with DHHS being here, conducting this process, we wanted to make sure that we wanted the same opportunity that they're having here at Parkview and Midcoast to have in our communities, which we're not afforded to have.
And it sounds as though there may be some chance that we can make that happen, which is pretty exciting news in and of itself.
Explain for those who were not here what the process was today.
Well, this was just a DHS process to take public input on the certificate of need for the change of management of Parkview with Central Maine Community Health.
The hearing today is to discuss whether or not that's the best thing for Parkview. So Midcoast is here maintaining that Brunswick area and the surrounding towns would be better served with a meshing of Midcoast and Parkview.
Parkview supporters lined the roads leading into the Knights of Columbus Hall in Brunswick. The room was set up before anyone arrived, even without people seeming to pit one side against the other. Who got to speak, and how did they get to speak, and in what order did they speak? And
they had sign-up sheets at the beginning where you were either speaking for, against, or in our case, neither for nor against. That we were just here to give out information, and they pretty much alternated between those different lists.
And were you limited on time?
Yes,
5 minutes.
Task Force moderator and Boothbay Town Manager Jim Chaosis had prepared a written statement from the task force, which was handed out around the room. In short, it applauded the process that has been denied the Boothbay region, the process that allows a community to be engaged in the decision-making process about what happens to their local hospital before it happens.
My name is Stuart Smith, and I'm a selectman from the town of Edgecombe. I serve on a 4-town task force on the Boothbay Peninsula dealing with a St. Andrews Hospital closure. I'm representing the St. Andrews Task Force today. The St. Andrews Task Force is a group comprised of the 4 Boothbay Peninsula communities through an interlocal agreement. The towns agreed to form this group to explore impacts and actions needed for the communities to respond to the service changes proposed 3 months ago by the Lincoln County Healthcare, which is part of Maine Health. We applaud the Department of Health and Human Services for having this public hearing, because it's one of the most fundamental rights of healthcare customers that has been missing in the Boothbay region, an opportunity to voice opinion. Hospital, healthcare customers, and politicians can agree on one point. Healthcare is changing, and it isn't always a bad thing. Healthcare costs have become a hindrance for all parties. Everyone seems to have a plan on how that change can be implemented, and they are very different plans, but the key element seems to be missing, and it is showing its ugly face in the Boothbay region. The community needs to be properly engaged in the process that is leading to healthcare decisions. Hospitals are businesses, and businesses are necessary to make decisions necessary. But it is easy to overlook some of the impacts in the business decisions and legislative changes on the community. These services are very different based on the community that they are located in, because of history, desire, and hardworking volunteers have paved the path to their prosperity. We're in difficult times, and maybe we have lost sight of the fact that we can refocus. Business decisions and legislative environment has made local hospitals take their eyes off the community needs. The community must be an important part of the decisions that drive healthcare decisions with local impact. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you got a little food in your stomach. I'm Smith Climo. I'm a selectman in the town of Southport. I'm on the Save St. Andrews Task Force. I come here today as Switzerland. We're neutral, but in full disclosure, my dad served at Brunswick Naval Air Station for years. My brother was born in Parkview, just full disclosure. The reason, we found out about this meeting last night at our meeting, and also I have no notes, so this is extemporaneous. We found out about your meeting last night at our meeting, and we thought it was important to be here, to be in support of this process. Many of you may not know that our little hospital, St. Andrews, is on the verge of closing as a hospital as of April 1st of this coming year, becoming an urgent care facility, which would have a dramatic impact on our peninsula. The one thing that you folks have going for you today is that you are here and you're having a conversation. I will say that it's very clearly delineated, Parkview and the Mid-Coast. As a general rule, it's pretty much sided up here. You folks need to talk to each other. Whatever you decide to do, you need to talk to each other. The one thing I can tell you without equivocation is you're better off with 2 hospitals than no hospital, which is what we're I think it's outstanding that the state of Maine is here getting this going for you guys today. It's an important thing. You have some time to come up with what's the best solution for your here in the Brunswick area and all the people. I've had surgery at Mid-Coast for a knee issue. It was great service. I have no complaint with your hospital. Again, as I say, my brother was born in Parkview many years ago. The biggest thing I want to share with you people is take the time to use this opportunity to share with one another. Try not to have it be the Hatfields and McCoys. Try to sit down and realize that you're all in this together and you want to have what's best for your community. We in the Boothbay region, I am partly here to get that word out with it, obviously. We're fighting to save our hospital. You have the opportunity to keep 2 great hospitals, potentially. And I just think it's important for you guys to realize the opportunity you have here today. We're going to go back down to our peninsula and fight tooth and nail to save our community hospital, because we know how important it is. I hope you guys will take your opportunity to do the best for your community. Thank you.
And what, by speaking, did you hope to leave behind with this crowd about what's happening on the Boothbay Peninsula?
Well, we hope to make an impression that the community really needs the input in any kind of healthcare change in the area. We were not afforded that opportunity. The impact of any healthcare facility like this, making this kind of a mission change, has a significant impact, and we're seeing it in our local budgets, especially in Boothbay, Boothbay Harbor, and Southport, when they're looking at 300% increases in their budget lines for the ambulance service.
There are 600 in our case.
600 in your case, that's right. It's incredible. But there are significant impacts to the community, and our community was not afforded the opportunity to make that, to voice their opinions on any of that change of mission.
So do you hope that perhaps we'll be able to use some part of this process to extend our time to plan for whatever changes become necessary?
Of course, we are hoping that if the Department of Health and Human Services gets involved, that again, that Lincoln County Healthcare may take the time to realize that because of the budgetary issues, if for no other reason, to allow us to budget whatever changes we're going to be having in the future can be done in a measured manner rather than just, you know, flinging it and winging it. And that's our hope, that we can have them choose, Lincoln County Healthcare will choose to give us some more time, 6 more months at least.
And that's, like you say, that's a huge impact, because 3 months ago we learned about this after our budgets are already set in stone and the mill rate's been calculated, and we're expected to make changes mid-fiscal year.
Profound changes.
Profound, yes.
Two other task force volunteers, Mary Connolly and Alice Grant, stayed for the afternoon sessions, but did not stay for closing remarks. A copy of their reaction to the day is available in the task force office in the communications file.